This is perfect. This is it. Before we start, let me ask you this. Is dough the most important part of pizza? The crust is the most important part indeed, as it holds all the other ingredients. Next would be the sauce and then your toppings. So for the dough, I'm going to show you two different mixing methods, using a stand mixer and by hand. No liquid starters such as pouliche or biga involved. We're going to rather use the autolyse technique. Autolyse refers to the stage when flour and water have been mixed together until just combined and then left to rest for 20 minutes at least and up to 12 hours before dough is kneaded and yeast and salt are added. So what is the main benefit of an autolyse? Well, it makes the dough stretchier and more extensible. That's all we need for pizza. After 6 minutes of mixing, you are good to go for an overnight bulk fermentation in a refrigerator. Plenty of time for the aromas to develop. If you don't have a stand mixer, not a big deal, use your hands. Let's go, Papa. It's gonna be a good workout. We are going to duplicate what bakers used to do back in the days when kneading machines weren't there yet. So if you pick that option, and I do encourage you to do so, make sure that you've got a clean and clear workspace. That is the first thing. 2, try not to wear any jewelries and watch. And 3rd, keep your cell phone away. Because you know, it might not be the greatest idea to pick up a phone call from your boyfriend or girlfriend and say, "I love you too, honey." Alright, enough talking, let's get started. Make a well and add spring water gradually. And I mean it. Take your time, no rush. Otherwise, it's gonna end up like a collapsing dam, like so. Damn! And of course, if you've got a large pastry bowl or any other round container, put everything at once, water and flour. So kneading by hand takes approximately 20 minutes versus 6 with the help of a stand mixer. 3 things to bear in mind when making bread. First, high percentage of hydration is preferred. 75%, perfect. 2, put less yeast in your bread. That way, you ensure a long, slow rise, one more likely to produce a strong dough able to withstand the rigors of baking. And 3rd, overmixing the bread dough is never a good idea. When you knead the dough for too long, the gluten strength that gives the dough its elasticity become overdeveloped, resulting in a dense, tough texture. Needless to say that adding more flour during the sticky stage is a big mistake. Good bread takes time, so the pizza. As you have witnessed earlier, we have added the yeast and the salt. And now you want to knead the dough for 15 minutes. It's a good workout and fun. Home bakers that are used to making bread typically work with doughs that don't go much past a 65% hydration. Yet, just like the best French baguette recipes and sourdough, pain au levain, the hydration level is much higher, around 80%. It promotes better extensibility, better fermentation, moisture crumb, and better keeping quality. So what works for bread works for pizza. Looks amazing. What we've got here is exactly what you are looking for. Great elasticity, and the dough is not overworked. In other words, not too warm. And that's what you want when you are opting for a long bulk fermentation process. The temperature of the dough should not exceed 77 degrees Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. Otherwise, and especially if you deal with a large batch, the fermentation will take place in a faster pace. So around 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius, perfect. Alright, so that's gonna go in a refrigerator overnight. That leaves us plenty of time to take care of all of the ingredients we're gonna need for our 6 first-class pizzas. Italian style and French, of course. For the no-cook pizza sauce, pass peeled tomatoes through a food mill. Add tomato paste, parmigiano, salt, pepper, sugar, and the garlic, basil, oregano infused olive oil. To follow, I'm gonna roast a couple of garlic heads in olive oil and herbs, and that's gonna be for the pizza camembert fig prosciutto. Now I'm gonna show you how to make semi-confit tomatoes. Cut tomatoes into wedges and season with salt, sugar, pepper, herbs, crushed garlic, and olive oil. Pop in the oven and cook for 3 hours at 250 degrees Fahrenheit, 120 Celsius. Next in the agenda, pesto. Pesto is flavorful and bright and can liven up vegetables, pizza of course, potatoes and pasta. Pine nuts are ideally used for that purpose, but any other nuts work just fine, up to your taste. Don't be shy, make a large batch of pesto. It lasts a couple of weeks in a refrigerator. In addition, pesto freezes well. Gorgeous. Alright, so let's get to the refrigerator and grab the pizza dough we've made yesterday. I actually made 2 batches. Each gives 5 pizzas. Leave the dough out for about an hour, then transfer to a floured work surface and divide into 5 250 grams portions. The perfect size for 11-inch, 28-centimeter pizzas. Gently deflate and shape into balls. The reason we are folding the dough is to strengthen the protein threads inside the dough. Remember, when you are handling pizza dough, to be gentle. Indeed, you want to keep the small bubbles that makes holes in pizza, making it lighter and fluffier. So if you plan to stretch your pizza later, store dough balls in an oiled container, cover and refrigerate for up to 24 hours. Otherwise, cover the dough and let rest 15 minutes to relax. I love bread dough, it just feels like a baby skin. Next step, flour countertop and the dough. Press your pizza with your fingertips before you stretch it, leaving a little border all around, not too large, I don't like it. Press the dough out from the center, widening that flat disc into a large 11-inch, 28-centimeter circle. The dough should be soft and pliable and shouldn't shrink back when you press it. If so, allow it to rest a little longer. As you are witnessing, I am finishing stretching my pizza on parchment paper. The reason behind is that the whole batch it's gonna go in a freezer for my upcoming pizza party. And when ready to bake, set your oven temperature to 540 degrees Fahrenheit, 280 Celsius. I guess that is the highest you can go. Heat it up for a while with a pizza stone, that will help, and par bake your pizza for 3 minutes. Add toppings and throw back in the oven. Next, let's check the wood-fired oven. By the way, I perfectly understand that not everyone has a wood-fired oven or hybrid oven at home. So one of the purposes of this pizza video is to demonstrate that yes, we can bake pizza in a domestic oven. And that's the whole point right there, while baking bread or pizza, is how much heat your oven is capable of accumulating. For example, and even with the help of a pizza stone, the temperature of the stone should barely reach 260 degrees Celsius versus 350 Celsius in a wood-fired oven. Now, let's talk about the real deal and go to Savoie in southeastern France and make our first pizza with a French touch, pizza tartiflette. Check this out: roasted onions, smoked bacon, cooked potatoes, reblochon cheese, heavy cream, herbs, et voilà! Next order, let's go back to Italy. Pizza, pesto, semi-confit tomatoes. That one though, not gonna be done over a par-baked pizza dough, but rather straight. If you plan to do so, make sure everything is ready simultaneously. Par-baked or not, it's a personal preference. One is crispier than the other and yet easier to work out. You know what? Why don't you try both ways and let me know what you think down below. Alright, so it's been baking for 2 minutes, smells amazing. So you can crack an egg and put it back in the oven for less than 60 seconds. Done. Now let's duplicate that, but over a pre-baked dough. Spread over pesto, add the completely drained and sliced mozzarella di bufala, semi-confit tomatoes, and Parmigiano Reggiano. Bake for about 3 minutes, rotating the pizza every so often. Done. Without any doubt, crispier than the previous one. Gorgeous. Alright, let's continue and build up the next one, pizza pepperoni. Though I'm gonna use a local made spicy chorizo. Soyons fous. Pizza sauce, Parmigiano, mozzarella, and pepperoni. When it comes out of the oven, add basil and a drizzle of spiced olive oil. Enjoy! To follow the off-the-hook one, pizza camembert, roasted garlic, fig, and prosciutto. Ça, c'est pas de la daube, le petit lapin. Brush pre-baked dough with some of the roasted garlic oil. Add camembert slices, roasted garlic, honey, fresh figs, and prosciutto. Throw in the oven, and just about 3 minutes later, when it comes out, add some crushed walnuts and seasoned arugula. The crust cook through. You can't beat that. Wow. Well, the last one is going to be a dessert. And I'm gonna use some of my leftover pastry cream. I'm gonna add some blueberry or blackcurrant spread and then fresh figs. Alright guys, I hope you have enjoyed this pizza episode. To get the full recipe, measurements, and all the details you need in order to make the best pizza at home, please check out my website at brunoalbouze.com. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Have a wonderful pizza day. Ciao, ciao.